Hello and welcome back. Today we're going to discuss stopping the snowball effect. And congratulations on completing the first two lessons. This is the only way you're going to gain confidence is if you go through the entire course. So stopping the snowball effect. This is helping you control stress in your life. And I'm going to start out with a disclaimer. I'm not a doctor. I'm just telling you, I'm teaching you what worked for me. I learned these techniques through therapy of myself, on my therapy that I took myself, and the numerous books that I've read. And again, just what has worked in my life to reduce stress. It's a lot of common sense, but it's good to hear it over and over and over again. I know when I was actually in therapy, I was going back looking at the notes that I took preparing for this lesson. And I realized she told me the same thing over and over and over. Hard head. I couldn't get it. It's like I didn't hear it. And each time she told me, I felt like it was the first time I had heard it. And I wrote it down each time because I only wrote down things that I thought, okay, this is new and I can definitely use this. Well, I wrote down the same thing over and over and over. And I was like, geez, how dense am I? But it just takes that many times to hear it and commit it to action. So you're probably gonna have to come back and watch this one over and over and over, and that's fine. You've got this for life, so feel free to watch it as many times as you need to. I hope that you will take notes and you will have it anytime you need to look for it. You need help dealing with stress, you can just pull out your notebook and look at what you learned in this lesson. So take notes and let's get started. First thing I want you to do is I want you to show yourself compassion. This was a big problem of mine because I expected myself to be perfect. And we've all learned and we all know there's no such thing as perfect. But I just hold myself to such a high standard that anytime any little hiccup would happen, I would go into self-beatdown mode. And I'm sure you've all done the same thing. It may start as so simple as, God, I'm so stupid. Well, then the snowball effect. Then your mind starts thinking, okay, why do you think you're stupid? And then your mind starts presenting all this evidence. It's like you're an attorney and you're presenting a case. And your mind just keeps on and on and on. Remember this, remember that. Things that may have happened when you were 6 years old. It'll pop back up and show you what you did and what you said at the time and proving that you are stupid. Which should teach us that we need to ask ourselves better questions. If you ask yourself better questions, your mind is going to search the history, your computer memory is going to search through all of those events and it's going to try to present the case to show why you are successful. And it's going to give you the proof that you need to help you build your confidence. So practice showing yourself compassion, because pain times resistance equals suffering. So we're all going to have pain, we're all going to have things that we go through, but if you don't just accept it and realize it for what it is, not that you are accepting it means that you acknowledge it and you're just letting it happen as it is. It doesn't mean that you're not going to take action. But pain times resistance. So if you're resisting that pain instead of accepting it, it equals suffering. And you want to stop the pain as quickly as you can before you get to the suffering stage. You need to see reality without judgment. Create a safe space for yourself, again, without judgment. And this does not mean that you're not going to take action on whatever caused the pain or whatever started your snowball effect. It just means that you are recognizing it for what it is, you're accepting it, and you're going to calmly think of a solution. Acceptance is the starting point of change. If you're continually to resist it and you're not recognizing it, you're not acknowledging it, you're not going to change. So acceptance is a starting point of change. So that's a good way to look at it. And when you feel yourself getting stressed and upset and in pain, if you just take a deep breath and accept it and pay attention to what you're thinking, it's going to stop the snowball effect and you're going to smile and you're going to realize, hey, this is the start of my change. And that's going to give you peace and help you to get through it. And this tactic will also help you achieve your goals that we set in the last lesson. If you can stop that snowball effect, you're going to be more focused and more successful. Because we all know that stress has a way of bogging us down and sending our mind in 15 different directions. So we're scattered, and you're not focused when you're scattered. And when you're not focused, you're not going to succeed. Your inner voice is a bully, let's face it. It is a bully, and you are in charge of it. I know at times we feel like we're not in charge of it, because I know I'll be driving down the road, happy as I can be, listening to a great song, and then bam, something pops in my mind that is just horrible. And I'm like, why did I even think that? Where did that come from? It's your mind being a bully. So you got to recognize that, and you've got to stop it. Basically, the closer you get to success, the louder your inner bully is going to get. It's going to say things like, what are you doing? You're not an expert. You can't succeed. You can't achieve this. Nobody's going to listen to you. Nobody's going to believe you. If they buy it, they're going to ask for a refund. That's what your inner voice and your bully is going to say to you. You've got to recognize what's happening and move past it. I'm going to give you an example of this. This happened to me just 2 years ago, actually. I was working for a large company. It's a third-party administrator handling workers' comp claims. I was a supervisor. Been a supervisor for 7 years. And I had basically been a supervisor for our state. We had the entire state government. So it had different rules than normal. It's basically the same workers' comp thing. They just handled things differently than what they had to. So I had been in the industry 28 years. So I know workers' comp, and the entire time I was handling Fortune 500 companies. So I know how to handle national accounts as well. Well, we lost the state account. I got transferred to the national accounts, and the supervisor was my friend who I worked with at the previous company. And truth be known, she really, really struggled as an adjuster. She was behind all the time. She was written up, and she was very close to losing her job. I helped her. I stepped in. I helped her, and I taught her time management. Well, she was not receptive to it, but I tried my best to teach her time management. She even asked me to be the time management police. She gave me a copy of her schedule. She scheduled everything out in blocks. We went over that in the last lesson with goals. So if you haven't watched that, go back and watch Setting Goals to Be Successful. Anyway, she gave me a copy of her time management thing, and she told me, okay, when it's time for me to change, she would have, let's just say from 8 to 9, she did email. And then from 9 to 10, she maybe looked at the diary she had to do for that day, the work she had to do. And then so she told me, okay, when 9 o'clock rolls around, check with me and make sure I've stopped doing the emails and I've changed and I'm starting to do my diary. So that's what I did. So I worked with her, and I helped her save her job and helped her get in a better place. Well, then fast forward, we both changed jobs. I got a job at this company, and then we were looking for another adjuster, and she was unhappy where she was. So I put in a good word for her and asked them to consider her for an adjuster job. They actually hired her as a supervisor. Well, then fast forward again, our manager leaves, and then we both go up for the position as manager. Thank God I didn't get it, but she got the job as manager. So I was like, okay, she got the job as manager. That's great. I can work with her, no problem. She's a really nice person. She's very religious, and she has, what I thought was everybody's best in mind. So moving right along, she saved my job when the state left us, and she talked them into having another supervisor for the national accounts so she could spread out the work and reduce everybody's workload. So that's what happened. Well, then she had me sit with a supervisor to learn how to do it the national account way. 28 years of experience, but I said, okay, fine, whatever. So I sat with this lady and did everything she told me to do. We had a template we had to follow, and I answered the questions the same way she did. It said, had coverage been confirmed? She just put Y for yes. I actually typed out yes or no. Well, then I had my first review with my supervisor, and it was I guess, 45 minutes to an hour beatdown. She spent the entire time going through file after file and telling me what a horrible supervisor I am, how I wasn't doing anything right, my plan of actions had zero benefit, why did I fill it out this way, this is not how it's supposed to be, when it says was coverage confirmed, I was supposed to spell out and say, yes, coverage was confirmed, and here's the dates we had, existing coverage. That wasn't what my trainer told me to do, and I was doing exactly what my trainer told me to do. So it really got in my head. I knew I was an excellent supervisor. I had 7 years of getting the top bonus, top raise and everything, being rewarded for being an excellent supervisor. And then she comes in and gives me an hour beatdown, and all of a sudden I forgot all that. The only thing I could think of is, God, I must not have a clue what I'm doing. And, was she right? I don't understand. Could I have looked at these files differently? And let me go in and dig in and let me see what I could do differently. And I spent the next 2 days beating myself up, piling on, being the bully. 2 days. And then I was like, I was driving myself crazy. I was starting to have panic attacks again. I was starting to cause myself to have dizzy spells. And I stopped and I said, okay, wait a second. I create my reality. Is this truly reality? That's her opinion of me, but is her opinion correct? And I came to the ultimate conclusion that no. I went back and I remembered all the things that my current adjusters said to me, how they loved being under me, how much they learned under me, how patient I am. And I went back and looked at all of my past reviews, how glorified they were, and the bonuses that I got and the raises that I got. And then I came to the conclusion, okay, no. What she did, I don't know why she did that. She may have pressure up above. I don't know what's happening. But anyway, I need to detach myself from that, and I need to realize I am an excellent supervisor, and her opinion doesn't matter. My opinion is the only one that matters. And I got a big smile on my face, and every time what she was saying popped in my head, I pushed it out by smiling and remembering the truth about myself. And that's exactly what I want you to do also. I want you to defeat your inner bully. I also want you to acknowledge your strengths. Now, women, we all know we're not taught to be strong. We're taught to be dainty and feminine, and or the men won't want you. You'll never get married if you're a strong, independent woman. Well, I obviously didn't hear that because I grew up a very strong, independent woman. I think because my parents did not teach that. Society did, but my parents did not. I have 2 older brothers and I'm the only girl, but my parents had us do everything. My brothers had to clean house and cook. I had to do yard work and go to the field and farm. We had cows. I had to go feed them. It didn't matter. They raised us gender neutral. We all had to learn how to do the exact same thing. My dad taught my brothers how to shoot. He taught me how to shoot because he wanted me to be able to protect myself when I moved out on my own. So I didn't have that problem, but I know that this is a major problem for women. So I'm giving you permission right now. You have permission. I need you to give yourself permission to acknowledge and accept your strengths. Okay, the next thing I want you to do is give yourself credit for hard work. Even if you didn't succeed, I want you to pat yourself on the back and realize, okay, I am really working hard here. I am taking the steps. I am sticking to this. I'm in this training. I'm doing the modules one at a time like I'm supposed to. And I want you to take a minute and acknowledge, okay, I completed the first 2 lessons in this confidence training. Look at all that I've learned and how much more confidence I have today than when I first started this course. And all the little nuggets that I've given you already. And we're just getting started on today's lesson. So give yourself credit. It helps keep your weakness in perspective if you list your strengths and actually look at them every day and realize what you are. And realize that you're moving towards what you're saying about yourself. Like in the Bible, it says, the weak must say they're strong. And this works in any religion. It doesn't matter what your religion is. I'm not here to convert you or anything. I am just a Christian, and that's just how I relate to it. So what you want to be, whether you are that or not, you need to say it now, because that's what you're moving towards. Remember, if you're saying, I am strong, your mind is going to search ways to achieve that. Your mind is going to prove to you, yes, you are strong. Look at all that you've been through, and look at how you're still going, and you're not curled up in a ball, rocking back and forth, sucking your thumb in a corner. So acknowledge your strengths and give yourself praise. Don't live in the future or the past. Focus on the present. That's all that you can do, is the present right now. This is a big source of my stress. I, again, want to be perfect. I'm a big people pleaser. So I would constantly replay the game tape. You know, the Monday morning quarterback. What did I do yesterday? How could I do it differently? And the worst job to go into is a claims adjuster, because you're only as good as your last mistake. Every day, you know, you could do 1,000 things right, and really you did 1,000 things right, nothing wrong, but you're still going to get called in because maybe you had to deny somebody's claim because it didn't fit in the criteria that the state gave you. Not your fault, but you had to deny the claim. Well, that person is very angry at you because you just cut off their lifeline. They now have no money for their medical bills, and they now don't have money coming in to pay their monthly bills. So you're getting cussed out, you're getting complained, you're getting called into I used to call it the principal's office. So the worst job ever that you could have, and I stayed in it for 28 years. So realize that you cannot control the past. It's done. You can't change it. You cannot control the future. What's going to happen is going to happen. Only thing you can control is how you react and what you are doing right here, right now. Realize what you're in control of and what you cannot control, and then let it go. If you cannot control it, let it go. It doesn't matter how much I focus and how badly I want the sun to shine. It's cloudy right now. We just went through a bad storm the last couple of days, and it's still cloudy. So no matter how badly I want the sun to come out and it to be warm, I can't control that. So I'm just going to spin my wheels and waste my time trying to focus on making the sun shine. It's going to shine, but it's just coming through clouds. So acknowledge what you can control and what you can't, and move on. Don't play the what if game. This is another big one that I had. What if this happens? What if that happens? Oh my gosh, what if they find out I did this? Oh, what are they going to think about me? Think a lot about what other people think about me. So it took a lot to realize this, and this is one of the things I learned in therapy. I was taught to finish that out. You don't know why it happened, but how will you handle it? Like, let's say one of my big fears was always losing my job. Well, that actually happened. I got laid off due to COVID. So all those years of worrying about it didn't change it. It still happened. But playing the what if game, she taught me that I had to finish that. I had to say, okay, what if I lose my job? Okay, then what would happen? I would manage. I would find another job. I have family I can depend on. I have savings. I have 401k. I'm fine. And it took the pressure away and it took the stress away, finishing out the what if game. So if you do find yourself playing it, you've got to answer it out and you've got to finish it completely. Another tip is to take a breath. Now, this is the tactical breathing. You take a deep breath in while you're counting to 4. You hold it for 4 seconds, and then you exhale for 4 seconds. So breathe in 4, hold it 4, and breathe out 4. And you just constantly do that and repeat until you feel the anxiety fade away. That's a great one. They teach that one in the military. Another one to distract yourself is to count by 3s. Just counting, by 1s is too easy for your mind, but to count by 3s, you've got to actually focus. At least I do after I get past a certain number. So it causes your brain to focus on the counting, which distracts it from whatever was causing it to spiral in the snowball effect. Another good one is simply to smile. If you can remember this one, it's going to change your life completely, because there's something that happens naturally, physically, when you smile. Your body releases hormones that make you feel good, and it floods your system with these hormones, and it relieves the anxiety. The same way your body floods your system with hormones that it's the fight or flight hormone. I'm not sure the names of any of these, but it floods your system with the hormone. Maybe it's adrenaline. I'm not sure. It doesn't matter. But anyway, it floods your system, and then it gives you the energy to fight the system or to run away. It's your defense mechanism. But when you're smiling, it also releases different hormones that help you to relax and to feel calm and get you away from stress. Take care of yourself. Exercise, eat right, drink plenty of water, etc. Whatever you have to do, put yourself first. A lot of us, especially women, don't even put ourselves on the list. We think we've got to be there for everybody. We got to take care of the parents. We got to take care of the kids. We got to take care of our siblings. We've got to take care of friends. We've got to be there. We've got to be strong at our job. We've got to be a leader at our job. Everything is take. And if you don't take time to replenish, you're not going to be there for any of them. And I know we look at it as being selfish when we put ourselves on the list, especially do what I'm telling you to do, to put yourself first. That really is a big problem. But by putting yourself first, it's ensuring that you're going to be happy and you're going to be in a healthy place and you're going to be able to give more to your loved ones. Another good thing to beat stress and the snowball effect is to stop and take a break. Go get a drink. Go get a drink of water. Something to calm you down. Now, I'm a big proponent of drinking water and not caffeine. If you take in caffeine, that's going to get you your adrenaline going again, and you're going to feel like an Energizer bunny inside, which just increases your stress. So I'm not saying you have to get off caffeine altogether, but if you're in the middle of having a stress or panic attack, do not go add caffeine to it. That's like throwing fuel on a fire. You don't want to do that. Make sure you have a hobby, something that you enjoy doing, something that brings you joy. Like for me, it's photography. I can be stressed in the world, have the biggest problem in the world, but you give me a camera and you put me in nature and I'm out there taking pictures of birds or wildlife, I forget everything and I'm only focused on that, getting the best picture. And it totally relieves my stress. So try it. Go for a walk. Get in nature. Get out. It helps you decompress and removes your stress. Another good one is to write down your thoughts, especially when you're feeling overwhelmed and stressed. What were you thinking at the time that generated that feeling? Because remember, you are in control of your reality. You're in control of yourself. No one can make you feel a certain way. They can say whatever, but you make yourself feel that way by latching onto it. Same as I did with my manager. I latched on to what she thought of me, and then I made myself feel embarrassed, and it took my confidence away, and I felt just less than. I did that to myself. Once I realized what she was saying was only her opinion and it wasn't accurate, then it flipped on it, and then I took my control back, and I felt so much better. Stop and listen to music or watch TV. Whatever gives you joy. Adult coloring books are great too. Whatever you can do to shift your focus onto something else and gives you joy. Make plans with family and friends. That's another good thing to reduce anxiety or stress. I also want you to look at what does life look like without stress and anxiety. Sit down and write your story. What does your life look like? What would you accomplish? What would you do? What opportunities would you take advantage of if stress was not holding you back? If a lack of confidence was not holding you back? Who would you be? What would you do? I want you to write it down so that that person is who you're going towards. That's who you're creating. What you focus on grows. Stop the snowball effect. Another thing that causes stress in our lives is we're mind reading. You know, you may see a friend in a crowded room and you're like waving, hey, and they don't wave back. what do you immediately think? Oh gosh, she's mad at me. Or, oh God, what did I do to them? Why are they upset? Why didn't they speak to me? They simply may not have seen you. And that's why they didn't wave. But we tend to fill in the gap. Again, that bully in our head is filling in. You're less than. They don't like you. They were just being nice to you in the past. Let it go. Quit annoying them. When in reality, it's just a busy room. They didn't see you, and they would have loved to have seen you and talked to you. Another thing is, we don't know what they're thinking. And you would be amazed at how little they truly are thinking about you. We think we're the center of everybody's movie, that everybody's at home thinking about us. God, I can't believe Sandra said this today. I can't believe she did that. In reality, they're at home taking care of their own stuff in their own mind, thinking about how they think everybody's talking about them. You're not unique. We all have the same human brain. It all works the same way. And we all have these techniques we can use to avoid this. So stop doing that. Stop predicting the future. You don't know what the future holds. Another thing, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. I know you've heard that one. And again, it doesn't matter what religion you're in, what you believe in. If you want to make maybe just the universe laugh, tell them your plans. Because our things can change on a dime. Our futures can change on a dime. Good or bad. You don't know what the future holds. Just know that you have the strength to handle it. And a big one, do not compare yourself to others. Someone may have just gotten in network marketing. They've already got 4 people on their team. They're already making more money than you, and they just started the business. That's very upsetting, and that makes you feel like you want to throw up your hands and just quit. Well, you don't know their scenario. Those 4 people may have been their best friends, maybe siblings, maybe people that were already in a network marketing group, and they may have been in a network marketing group before, and they just pulled them onto this team. You don't know the scenario. You don't know the situation. You need to run your own race and only try to be better today than you were yesterday compared to yourself. That's it. Do not allow strife in your life. Once it comes in, just stop it, shut the door, and move on with your life. Once you allow it in, snowball effect happens. But just because someone said something bad about you doesn't mean you have to respond. The mark of honor is someone who has the ability to walk away from a fight. I know that that's, again, not what we're taught. Society teaches us, oh, you're just weak if you don't fight back. They're just going to walk all over you. You're a doormat. When reality is, if you just stand there and then just turn and walk away, let them be the immature person, let them be ridiculous, and let, God or the universe or whoever handle your fight. Just walk away. You can only control yourself. And again, a mark of honor is a person that can walk away from a fight. So manage your body, manage your thoughts, manage your breathing. So again, I've taught you a lot today, and there's still more. Here's another one. I learned this one in therapy. I don't know what it's called, but basically she taught me to tense a part of my body. Like sit there and tense your muscle in your arm. Just flex your muscle in your arm, just whatever you got to do to flex it. Hold it for, 5 or 10 seconds till it starts kind of burning and warming up, till it starts cramping. Then release it. And then feel how notice how your body's feeling. Notice how your body is relaxing in that muscle. Keep doing that over and over and over. It teaches your body how to relax. And you can do different body parts. I would do that during commercials. I'd sit and watch TV, and then when a commercial would come on, that was my cue to flex a certain part of my body. And most commercials only last a few seconds. I know that seems like they last minutes, but there really are just a few seconds. So flex while the commercial's on, and then when it changes, release that body part during the next commercial. Realize and acknowledge how you're feeling now that you've released the tension and you're relaxed. And then the next commercial comes on, do the same thing. Remove what others think about you. Doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is what you think about yourself. Here's another good one. Develop your happy place. We all have a place in this world where we feel the happiest. Well, I want you to tap into that and go back to how you felt when you were at that happy place. This is what I wrote in my journal when I was going through this. I got this from therapy as well. And my happy place was my front porch. I live in a farmhouse. It's an over 100-year-old house I restored in the country. And I have a lot of land. So I sit out on my wraparound porch. I've got a water fountain out there. I feed birds. And there's all types of nature. You can hear the crickets, the frogs, the bugs, whatever. You can hear all of them. The wind blowing. I can hear the birds chirping. I can hear the water on the fountain. It's like a gentle, aren't you getting relaxed just thinking about this right now? I'm in a nice, soft chair. I've got a soft cushion. The sun is on my skin. I can feel the warmth of the sun on my face. The wind is blowing my hair. See, get very detailed and then realize how you're feeling when you're thinking about your happy place. And you got to really take time with this one. You got to not only write it out, then write it out and read it out loud. And again, be as detailed and as vivid as you can possibly be, because that's going to evoke feelings in your body. And then realize how you're feeling. And then you can use this as your happy place. When stress hits you, go to your happy place. You can take just a few seconds and instantly it blocks the stress, and then your body is releasing the happy endorphins that's making you feel relaxed and calm. Here's another mini way, another quick solution to stress. It's calming, soothing triggers. This can be smells, music. Calmly rub your hands. This is getting your senses involved. So whatever scents, like lavender is really good to reduce stress. Go to Bath & Body Works. It's got it actually written on the things, on the lotions, on the candles. Release stress, reduces stress. So go smell those, see which ones you like the best, and buy those. Sound is another one too. Play music that relaxes you, that calms you down, gets you to your happy place. Gently massaging your hand or your arm, caressing yourself. Start focusing on that. Get your mind off of your stress. List all the positive things about yourself, all the wins that you've had in your life. You're going to be amazed at how many wins you really have had. Don't take others' problems on. Listen to them, be compassionate, and then move on. Offer them a solution, what you would do in that scenario, but then let it go. I tend to dig in and really think, oh, wow, I'm glad that didn't happen to me. What if that happened to me? Get in the what if game. And then it would cause more and more stress. And pretty soon I was feeling the anxiety that they were feeling and the stress they were feeling. I made them feel better. And then I took it on myself. And then I was a mess. So ignore other people's problems. Again, what you focus on grows. So focus on happy thoughts and your dreams. Take note, use these tactics that you learn in this lesson and watch how your confidence grows. You're going to be amazed at how better you feel about yourself, how excited you are for your future. And remember, focus on the person you are trying to be. Develop that person out and focus on them. Thank you for paying attention to this. Thank you for growing, and I'll see you in our next lesson. I wish you all the peace in the world.